Welcome to Manifest Unfiltered. Okay, today's topics, we have 4 topics for you. The first topic that we are going to talk about is, do you have to have a high vibration in order to manifest? So, we're going to cover some topics about that and some myths. The second topic is we're going to talk a little bit about like self love and trust in yourself. The third topic is fear of letting go, which is really hard for us to do, especially when we're in the manifestation journey. And the last topic is, does the universe test you? So if those topics sound good to you, then stick on and keep listening to us. And I'm Randy Lamott. I'm a spiritual teacher.
I'm Crystal Chupko. I'm a spiritual teacher and a medium. And we help you manifest through life's challenges without feeding you a bunch of bullshit. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around.
I like it. Yeah, we don't feed bullshit.
Yeah, life's short.
Yeah. Okay. The first topic, Crystal, I said your old last name. Oh my God. Do you
My
have,
maiden name?
I did. I don't know why. We're back to Puffer. I don't know. It's like grandma and grandpa are around lately. Okay, Crystal, let's talk about it. Do you have to have a high vibe in order to manifest? Because you always hear people saying, high vibe, you gotta be high vibe, you gotta be high vibe, you gotta match your frequency to the thing that you want to manifest. You
Just
know?
raise your vibration and you'll shit a golden egg. It's great. Woo!
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No, you do not always have to be high vibrational to manifest. Absolutely not.
like we have said in the past, when you are lower vibrational, you can manifest more lower vibrational things because that is part truth.
Yeah, sorry, my producer was bugging me. He's got his toy and he's got the squirrel and he's at my lap. Okay, sorry, can you repeat that?
Well, just like how we have said in the past, like when you are at functioning at a lower vibration, lower frequency, you can manifest lower vibrational things for sure, depending on things. But we wanted to talk about that as well. So those are the 2 things we want to talk about: vibration, frequency, and then the lower.
Well, I think there's a difference, and that's where people get
Mhm.
confused, and it comes back to that toxic positivity bullshit.
Yeah.
So you can be in a low vibration, because I mean, like, let's just face this, like, and be really real. If you are going through cancer treatment, or you just lost your house, or you're going through a divorce, there's a good fucking chance that you are not high vibrational. Like,
Correct.
you know what I mean? Like, just think of going through a divorce. You are not high vibrational at all. You are in like holy fuck mode, and you are
Survival
just
mode.
standing in the highway, okay, what's going to hit me next? Like, what's next? What's next? What do I got to do? I got to find a place to live. Do I have kids? Lawyers, like all of that stuff. Can I afford? All of those things hit you, but you can still manifest. And I think what it boils down to is, if you have like a little bit of hope and faith, like that seed deep inside you, that everything's
Yeah.
going to be okay on the other side, then I think you have the ability to just connect and manifest like nobody's business. Like, even from a low vibration, I don't think it matters. I think where a low vibration stumps you is if you have a really shitty attitude.
Yeah. I agree with you because you can be a lower vibration, but if your attitude, like you said, you have belief, you have trust, and yeah, you can manifest anything
Yeah,
because
because if you're,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead. Sorry, I was just like, if you're walking around like life hates me, bad stuff always happens to me. I can't believe I'm going through divorce number 3. Why does this always happen? Geez, like,
If you stay in the
I,
pity party, you're gonna have a pity party. Like,
yes.
yeah. And setting up that camp. You don't want to set up that camp and stay there. We all have
No.
moments where we set that camp up and can be there, but I allow myself, like, I have a 24-hour, depending on the situation. I have a time frame. Okay, I can set up my pity camp. I can feel the feels, do the things, but the next day, enough. Like I gotta come back out now.
I think you just deep down, I don't think it matters what the frick your vibration is, as long
Mhm.
as you have a hope, a seed, a faith that there is light on the other side of whatever it is you are going through. And
Yeah,
then I honestly don't think it matters what your vibration is, as long as you're willing to listen to your intuition, connect with your
your team.
guides, yeah, follow those synchronicities. I think you can honestly just get through anything, and vibration and frequency be damned.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. When you do have a higher vibration and you change your frequency, it makes things easier for
Yes.
sure. But we're just trying to, you know, break the myth of you have to only be high five, high frequency in order to manifest.
Well, it
Yeah.
creates that whole toxic feeling again, like I just can't get my vibration up. Like it's can burn you out constantly being in trying to raise your vibration. Where I just think that if you connect to your guides and you follow your intuition to what needs to happen, and you take that first step, and then that second step, and then that third step, um, your vibration's going to naturally shift
Hmm.
just by your small wins. Like, hey, I did this, I survived this part. It's like, whew, you kind of shed that, and then you go on to the next one, and then you accomplish that step, and that's a win. And then I think your vibration naturally increases for you, so you don't have to sit there and go, I'm going to dance for 20 minutes, to my favorite songs on hit number one, and I think my vibration's going to go from here to here. Like, that's fucking exhausting. Like, you know what I mean? If you're already mentally taxed.
Are you making fun of me because I did a dance challenge for 100 days?
Did you? Oh, you did do that? I forgot.
It's just
Uh,
because I genuinely love dancing. Like, if I lived somewhere close to a dance studio, I would be in like adult hip hop class. I fucking love that shit.
okay, but imagine if you
I
didn't.
know.
Like, and somebody said to you, just dance to
I
raise your
know.
vibration. You'd be like,
No.
what the fuck? I'm exhausted.
Oh yeah, you just be like, fuck this. And you kind of would give up on everything. But the other thing is too is it doesn't allow you, like when you're trying to be always high vibe, again, you skip the part of acknowledging the shitty feelings. Like you're not being real, you're not being truthful, you're not honoring, you're not feeling, you're not processing, you're not, you're just like repress, 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 like put it down, push it down, keep going, like and sometimes you have to do that for survival mode until you're ready to feel those feels. But like with that toxic positivity, it doesn't allow space for that
No, it's just
at
like
all.
whitewashing and going right over top of it.
Yeah, and then eventually, like you said, you burn out, but then you also explode or do something stupid or you make a really stupid rash decision because you're just so fucking fed up and like, you're not making decisions from a good heart center place.
Like, I did that when we sold our company. And just those final years of going through all of that, wrapping it up, selling it, the stress of having
Mhm.
it to begin with, like it took me, I would say, and just that always high vibrational, happy, it'll be okay. And I mean, honestly, believed it would be. But then about 3 years afterwards, just to level out, process everything, deal with everything, and just kind of, whew, because I don't know if I really did in the process.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. Going through like big major life-changing things is so fucking tough and you're just in the survival mode. You're in flight or fight. Like, what am I doing here? Every day is like whoo, whoo, whoo. And like you said, you're expecting things to like hit you, come after you, like on the you said standing on the highway. So it's like the only thing that basically you can recommend during those times is honestly, if you can, for even like what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just honestly take some breaths and kind of quickly ground yourself so it's not such a hard impact, it's a little softer impact.
It's true.
Yeah.
You don't hold that internally and that energy. Like, you're not just like
Yes.
absorbing and then that shock and you're holding that shock. You're just releasing it right away.
Yeah. What I do, I love to do this. I always like, even if I'm not outside, like obviously putting my feet on the ground is the best for me. It feels good. But if I'm just on the floor in the house or even in my shoes, I like honestly, I lift all my feet up so the balls of my feet are like anchored in my heels, and I just hold my feet up for like 2 seconds. I take a deep inhale, and then as I exhale, I allow everything to release and my toes to drop, and then I just do a couple more deep breaths. Even just doing that, just freaking like whew, gets you back centered and be like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get back to the vibration, nope, I don't always think that you have to be high vibrational.
Yes, you can manifest anytime, anything, always.
Yep.
Always, always, always. And it doesn't matter, like we've said this before, it doesn't matter of your worthiness, if you feel deserving. Like those things are all just what people started saying.
They're just noise in the background. So
Yeah.
tune it out.
And especially when you learn how to really work and understand your energy and connect to it, and like, then, I mean, you're unstoppable,
Yeah. You don't
like
need
completely
anything.
unstoppable.
It's like you just become into a bubble
Yeah.
and you go with your bubble. Like
Like you're not naive bubble, like you're not delusional bubble in that sense. Like you're still aware of your surroundings and what's going on, but you just have more focus, more center, more energy, more you. Like, you're just like more solid. Like,
I would agree.
yeah. So that kind of just triggered my memory. So Crystal and I, we were together in the city last week, and we decided to make this beautiful free session for you. It's like uncovering your main manifestation block and helping you move through that and get through that so you can start receiving your manifestation. So that is like a nice, beautiful energy session to get you started with that. So we just created it last week, and then I will be putting it up on the website shortly. So just keep an eye out for that. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna bounce now into topic number two, which is all about self love, because I feel, and I think you feel the same way, Crystal, is like every single woman has to work on that daily and has that struggle of like self love. And when I say self love, I'm talking self love, self respect, like all the selves, compassion, all the things about for you that self love is like a big bubble to me.
What do you think is in that bubble? You said self-respect, self-compassion,
Self awareness. Um, oh my
self-worth.
God, there's always nine. I have
Oh, there's
nine of them.
nine.
There is. And why am I drawing a blank? Because you just asked me on the spot and I'm like, oh. Yeah, there's like nine. For me, there's nine. There could be more, there could be less. I'm not sure. But for me, there's like nine of all the
Okay.
self things. Yeah. Do we say self respect?
No, I don't think you just said self-respect.
And just all those self things. So that to me is like encompasses all of like self love?
I never thought of it like that, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's why I always viewed it, because there's so many things like, yeah, there's so many things that we can work on for ourselves. And I feel like when we don't come from a place and working on our self-love and making decisions based on for us our needs coming from our heart center, and then we are always making decisions based on like people pleasing external factors, we've talked about this before, what you should be doing, those kind of things, it really makes your decisions harder, and it makes you do things you're not necessarily doing. So it always kind of shifts your energy and scatters your energy a bit, and it's harder to connect with yourself and your team and your manifestation in order to like receive. It's kind of wishy-washy. You're doing things that don't feel good, and you're listening to other things, external things, instead of what you truly truly want. So the universe is like, you know
Hmm. Okay. So then how do you think that self-love affects your energy when you're manifesting?
well, I feel when we have good self-love and we're listening to our needs and not always, like, obviously you're going to put other people first at certain times, but if you're always putting yourself on the back burner, I feel
And
like when
most
you
mothers do. I mean, like, if we have
yes,
mothers here or people that are going to become mothers soon, you know,
yeah,
pay
and that's
attention.
hard. I
Yeah.
feel like, well, you get you physically first, then I feel like you're getting burnt out. Resentment kicks in because your needs aren't being fulfilled. It doesn't matter who you are as a human, our needs need to be filled, and we need to be uplifted and our cup full, and doing things that make us feel good about ourselves. And if we stop doing that and putting us on the back, your energy becomes like, I feel like that lower vibrational, what we are talking about earlier,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's harder to pick yourself up back up. It's harder to even want good things for yourself. Like internally, deep down, you're like, oh, I really want this. But externally, And intrinsically, motivationally, are you going to take those steps? Are you going to listen to yourself and your team to move forward? So I feel like it just kind of pauses everything for you and you just kind of repeat the same patterns and the same things over and over.
When you have kids, it's called mom guilt,
Yeah.
where
So how do you
you
handle
don't.
your mom guilt? Like, how do you instill self love with yourself and take care of yourself? Plus,
I
do
personally didn't.
and what happened to you?
Well,
Did that is
fucking
that what
look at me.
happened?
Like, look at me.
Perfect
I
example of what not to do.
I think that's why I found 50 so liberating. Like, to me,
Mm.
like, and then when my last one graduated high school, like, I was just like, that to me was very freeing. And then I realized that, oh my gosh, okay, they still have to go through university. So I'm back on, but I'm only back on half, at half speed. But then when they turned 50,
That's
like,
half speed for you?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So then, like, yeah, just at half speed, like I could still now for the first time in my life, I could do things for myself.
Yeah.
Where before I never did anything for myself. Like we went on vacation and we had this rule. We were going to go every second year with just Travis and I, and then take the kids every other year, like on a Caribbean vacation, not the summer vacation, the family
Yeah.
shit, but that was our plan. And so we went to the first time for Sean's wedding, no
Yeah.
kids. And we were just like, oh my gosh.
This
And then
is
we came
amazing.
home and we felt so like, oh, they would have loved that. So then we took them and then we went one more year on our own and had an awful time. I mean, it was fine, but it was awful at the same
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? Because the whole time you're like, okay, they're little people. They have their own little stressors. Yes, they're not our stressors, but they do have their own little stressors. They're still getting up at -30 going to school. And we never ever went without them again. And that would be mom guilt and a little
Gotcha.
bit of dad guilt as well, right? Like, and we just adjusted our lives. And so when we were on vacation and I went to the spa and got a spa treatment, my kids came with me and they got little sunburn treatments before they came home.
That's funny.
Yeah. So like mom guilt is real. Like, and then when I turned 50, I was just like, Bucket Friday. Like my life changed. I just like cords, cuts, life was different and I felt so free. And I think that's why I found 50 so liberating.
Okay, so can we backtrack a bit? Did you start getting burnt out, depleted, and having a little bit of resentment feelings then? Maybe like not fully towards your family or kids, but also towards yourself for not putting yourself first, like a little bit of
It
both?
never occurred to me when my kids were little to put myself first. Because this was my life.
Yeah.
But I used to tell myself that, and I would do this like so often. I think this was my survival technique at that time, was I would say to myself, okay, next year at this time, my life will be so much better. Next year at this time, my life will be so much easier. And so that is how I survived. I mean, you might not know, but like for those that are listening, I had 3 kids under the age of 3. My husband was out of town all the time working. We had just built a huge company and it was go, go, go. We built like I don't know what it was, like a 6,000 square foot house on 5 acres that I had to try and maintain. And my life was a shit show. It was go, go, go. So if you weren't like the kids would go to bed and then I would cut grass and do landscaping until like 10, 11 at night, get up with the kids, shower at 6 a.m. and go again. And sometimes I would find time to invoice or, do some book stuff and run after kids. And my house was always destroyed. And I don't know. It's what I used to tell myself. Next year at this time, it will be that much better. But it never occurred to me to do anything for myself.
I think you're comparing self-love and self-care though a little bit here. Because like
To me,
you
though,
didn't,
it's like until today, it's always the same thing.
yeah. Because like
Like,
to me, care is a part of the self-love, right? Like and but like it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go and get a massage, which would be wonderful, of course, but even just the internal dialogue that you talk to yourself and the self-love and the decisions that way too, or no?
I had uncontrolled mediumship. So I never talked to myself. I always talked to people in my head, remember? So I'm a little
Mhm.
different that way.
I guess. Yeah.
Like I always had voices in my head saying like, it'll be okay. Heads up, this is coming or this is coming. And at the time I didn't know what it was. I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, I'm just figuring my shit out. I had an idea
So basically, what it sounds like is like when your kids are little and you're in mom mode, you just are fucked.
for a few years, absolutely.
And then you can start slowly incorporating some self things.
I shouldn't say that because you know what? Like friends. I had a girlfriend, like her husband worked like a bugger too. But, like she had so much family. Like we didn't live in a town where we had any family. So I think like, for some women, if you're fortunate enough to maybe be married to a husband who works a normal job, who has like normal hours, like maybe an 8 to 5, and then you have your evenings together, your weekends together, and you're very co-parenting hands-on. Like if you're very fortunate enough to have that, I think it's very different. Like, and you have your family around you where, I didn't have those things.
Yeah. Yeah. And 3 under 3 is pretty intense.
Yeah, my son had a disability, so it was like go, go, go.
Yeah. Shouldn't have flushed those birth control down the toilet.
I know that's what happens when you get a little tipsy and think it'll be a great idea.
Okay, okay. So basically you were fucked. You didn't do anything and now you get to do those things. But what are like but every decision you made was based for your family. Now that
Absolutely.
you get to base things more for you and still your family, you're always keeping your family in mind. You're doing the best for them as well. But now, what self love things are you noticing? Does it make things different for you? Does it give you more confidence in that sense of like doing things for yourself and trusting yourself and your team and your guides? Like, does that affect you at all in that area?
No, because I'm still connected to my guides. I was still connected to my guides then. I wasn't aware. But now
Hmm.
I think because I'm not caring for little people, like, I don't give a shit if there's supper on the table. I don't care if
Yeah.
there's freaking groceries in the house. That's like if your underwear aren't clean, that's not my problem. If you don't want to wash them, then you stop at Walmart and buy yourself some on the way home. Like so if I want to go somewhere, like if I decide, I'm gonna come see Randy and we're gonna work on some stuff, I just pack my bag and walk out the door.
Hmm.
And if he's got work or he's got stuff to figure out, like that's his problem. I don't figure out anything. Where before, I would have really had to decide if it was worth it because I would have had to plan for the pets. I would have had to plan for the kids. Like I just wouldn't have been able to do that. Who could come watch my kids in case he gets called to work? And so I was just like hostage in my house.
Hmm.
And then when I have teens, then I was like, okay, I was like a crazy helicopter parent. So, I'm always stood by my phone, like live by my phone. And I still do. Like if the kids are in the city and they're saying, hey mom, we're gonna go out and have Wing Wednesday and have a couple drinks, like I will go into the city and DD them home and stay in
Yeah.
the city with them for the night.
Okay. But I guess do you feel that when you don't have self-love for yourself and the respect and make decisions internally for yourself going forward, do you feel that it does have a disconnect for you energetically and the confidence to make decisions based on yourself, not based on what you should do in people pleasing and external factors?
I don't know. I think honestly it's a progress. Like it doesn't happen overnight because that would probably rock
No.
my whole family to the core. But I honestly it's not really ever at the forefront of my mind because as a mom, I just think you're either like you can do it or you can't swing it around your family. And that's kind of your motto that you live by. And then you kind of, and each woman's different, what they can live with and what they can't live with. And I think that's what they have to determine for themselves.
Yeah, but like, okay, so I'm gonna pause you on the kids. So kid have being a kidless bitch.
Yep.
I not raised in a family. I had dogs. I know that's different. But like in the sense of when I'm not connected to myself and I'm not putting myself in like with internally connecting to me and my team and self-love and making decisions based on what feels good for me. Right? I'm
Yep.
always overthinking, overanalyzing, people pleasing. I'm doing things out of fear, things out of lack. Like I'm just was not connected because I didn't trust myself. I didn't have the confidence to say the things I wanted to. Like, I couldn't fully express myself because I was worried I would piss someone off, wreck the piece or sound stupid. Like, that's lack of self love right there. That's lack of confidence. And then so I would do things all the time for other people, even when I didn't want to or felt burnt out. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about too, even just like that sense.
See, and
That
I
makes
think that's
sense.
like that's for you, and then I think our
Yeah.
listeners will probably have their own things.
Yeah. Like, and then you have fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. Like, that to me is all tied into self love.
See, and I just think like sometimes, like for me, having kids, having business, like I just think of myself, I was just in survival mode. And when
Yeah.
you're in
Because you had to
survival
go,
mode,
go, go,
I'm
go,
not
go.
thinking of any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think to this day, like I still don't really weigh that heavy into that stuff. Like my own personal. I just if I want
Yeah.
to do it, I do it. If it feels good, I do it. And if I don't, I don't. And that's where I'm at. And I'm kind of a simple creature in that regard.
And it never was. Because I was
Yeah.
always, ever since I was little, I was always like the people pleaser, like putting everyone else's needs first. So I didn't know how to do things for myself that felt good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I could tell a bitch to fuck off right to her face in 2 seconds, and it don't phase me. And that's just because
Yeah.
I always
I
having a
mean,
full plate, right? Like, so I know what's gonna tip my plate over and what I can
yeah.
handle, and it's just like, "Nope, not doing that today."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was meaning in terms of self love. And then you make decisions that you don't really want to make, or do things you don't really want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as a mother, you do that every day.
Yeah. And as a kidless bitch, we have a little bit more of that freedom to work on our personal development, to work on our self love more, to notice those things. But it took me a long time to notice those things about
Yeah.
myself for sure.
I think
Yeah.
I'm probably just, like, honestly, at 50 years old with my kids growing and leaving home where I was kind of faced with some of that stuff not too long ago. And then, so I'm kinda starting 30 years
You're
later than you.
Yeah, you're starting that's the kind of crazy thing. I was just
Yeah.
gonna say you're starting it now, where I started it earlier, but yeah, because you're in survival mode. And it's so that's what I was referring to, like self-love and making decisions not based on you internally, your heart center. And that's can kind of for me, it kind of fumbled me. And it took me a long time to admit what I really wanted to manifest, how I really wanted to live my life, right? That's why it took me till I was like 35 to say, no, this is what I want.
Yeah, see, like, up until 5 years ago, like, all I wanted to manifest was enough money to pay for my mortgage, a vacation, and groceries on the table, and some extra money to help the kids through university. Like, that was my whole life. Like, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
the kids need volleyball shoes, ooh, let's manifest some extra money, that was
Yeah.
like, my sole focus. So I was always manifesting from survival mode. I wasn't
Yeah.
always walking around with like this super peg up my ass going, I'm vibrating at 10 today. Let's manifest.
No, none of us. Well, I mean, some people are, I guess. Others,
I should
no.
knock it because you know what? When you are high vibrational, like, I mean, like, you do feel good. So I
You do
won't
feel good,
say
and
too
the
much.
people who are not high vibrational in that moment really don't like the high vibe people. They're more annoying at the moment.
All the high
And
vibe people, this is where they end our video. Click.
whatever. We fluctuate. All of us fluctuate. It's just a part of life. Sometimes I'm low, sometimes Crystal's low, sometimes I'm high. The only time we're really high together, our vibe is when we're together
And then
physically in
it's
person. And then like, whoa, watch out.
so my poor son, we were with him last week. And so I said to him at the end, I was like, so cool. Are you gonna be like so happy that we are like leaving you? And you get your space back and we're not annoying you with our laughs and our giggles anymore. And he's like, well, it'll be a little bit of both. I was like, you're so diplomatic.
Poor Cole. Okay, so I guess I wasn't like getting to the point where I was getting it with self-love. Hopefully I did. But like I have three, if you're in the self-love journey and you're ready to start like, going within and asking yourself, I have three cheesy questions that you can ask yourself. Let me
Oh,
know. Well, like you tell me, Crystal, if they're good or cheesy. So this is what I started asking myself. Like I'm not joking. 2009 was the first time I started self-love journey. So what feels right for me right now? Like in order, this is the things I'm asking myself when I'm making decisions.
Oh, okay.
So what feels right for me right now? What supports the life I want to create? And what choice honors like my value and my energy? So those are the kind of things I think about before, because if I don't, sometimes even now I still can get into my old trap and my old habit of like just doing things for other people, which doesn't align with me or which can not make me move forward towards going to what my future. You know what I mean? Like stalling me, like distracting me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess like for me, I've never really taken the time to ask myself any of those. Like, remember when we were at the food court and I always say, like, I always ask myself, like, if I'm faced between two choices and I visualize them and I'm like, one's here and then like one's here and
Hmm.
which one's better for me. And then, so Randy and I were at the food court. I really wanted taco time. She was going ultra healthy at this bowl place with chicken and curry and shit. And I was like, So I was like, okay. So then my whenever I get to the mall, I'm like, ooh, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so then I was like, okay, so I was like, taco time, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so if you can't see me, like one hand's above the other. So they were showing me that taco time was better than Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, taco time versus what's Randy's eating. And then it showed me that Randy's eating was like higher, better for me, a better choice than what taco time was. And then I'm like, that's nice, but fuck it, I don't care. I'm still gonna have taco time. So I totally threw it out the window. And that's how I make my life choices.
But I think you're not, you just don't classify it the same. You don't call it self-love, because when
I
you check
don't.
in with your team all the time, you check in with your team and yourself all the time before you make a decision. To
And
me,
I would
that's
say,
showing
yeah.
self-love.
And I would say, okay, what's for my highest good? Like, what do I need to do for my highest good? And I'm very much led and guided in that choice. Like, but then I still practice my own free will, like I did at the food court. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not
So
gonna it's like, yes, I realize that's better for me, and I don't even have to check in with my team to know that your chicken, rice, and curry is better for me than taco time. But I wanted taco time, so I still didn't care. I didn't have KFC, but I ate taco time.
but I think that's self-love though. That's how I categorize that. That connection and asking before, you
No,
know.
so I never
And
thought of that as self-love. I
but
just
you've
think of
asked
that as
before
like,
every decision you make, you asked before. To me, that's
I do.
self-love.
Oh.
With, obviously that connection piece to your team and spirit and, you know, for
So then
sure
what
it
is it when
is.
I choose taco time? Is that self-sabotage?
Probably with a little bit of spin on it, because it's also joy and satisfaction because you fucking love it.
Yeah.
And you know the consequences of it. Like you're aware of that. Like I'm talking about the individuals who are not even aware of the consequences of making decisions that don't feel good for them or not listening to themselves and the team. You know?
Yeah, so, like, I've always
It's
kinda
a
made my decisions that way.
Yeah. And I like how you say, "Show me." So then, like, Crystal gets, like, a visual of things all the time too. Like,
Yeah, I very much show me.
yeah.
Show me this, show me that.
So those are the other things when you're asking those questions, like, "Show me. What if I choose this decision, show me. What does that look like? If I choose this decision, like, show me. What does it look like? What does it feel like?" That's self-love, totally. Yeah, right? No?
Yep,
Moving on.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want people to be aware of it because I know I struggled with that for years, and I've talked to a lot of women who also struggle with that. I was on the phone yesterday with a friend. She's like saying the same thing, like, why do I have to do everything for everyone? Like I want, I don't do any decisions that feel good for me. So that's kind of what was triggering that topic today for me, because it's true. And she does have, she has two kids too, and a husband who's like, she has three kids,
That's hard.
basically. It is hard. It is hard. And she wants to do this and this for herself, but she can't make the decisions because her husband feels this way about it. And her kids, she's just focused on her kids. So she's been torn with the same decision for the past 4 years because she can't do what she wants to do. So she's really struggling. And she's putting you know what I mean? Because she can have it all. I feel like her husband will jump on board, and I feel like it's going to benefit the kids more. It actually will benefit the kids more. We talked about that yesterday, but she just can't make that decision for herself, probably because of mom guilt and worried
Yep.
about what, her husband's thinking.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like, I mean, because I just kinda went through some of that, like, when my kids left home and given the fact that, I feel like I have to be available 24/7 in case Cole calls. 'Cause, he's in the
Yeah.
city, right? Going to school and trying to build his life in the city, but he still needs help and support. So I feel like I need to be available at a moment's notice. So how do you build a career or do something for yourself or move forward and still say, hey,
Yeah, and she's fortunate enough that she has the career. She's just getting like a different kind of promotion career, which gives her more time. So it's kind of
yeah,
funny. It's a little funny. So that's kind of what triggered this conversation because like how do you put yourself when you're not, you know, self-love is important and we're all going to go through it at different times and we're all going to start incorporating it at different times. But I think out of all of our journey, we start to incorporate it. We start to focus on that self-love and ourselves. And I started early, you're starting now, but I'm starting other journeys that you've already started. Like we're kind of just crisscrossing here
it's
our
true.
paths. So it's kind of cool because I get to support you, you get to support me on things and like help each other grow through that. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so self-love was a hard topic.
And it's well because people view it so differently as well.
Yes.
What I
Well,
view as
yeah, clearly.
self-love and what you view as self-love and what the people who are listening to will probably view self-love, and it's all through the lens of our own eyes and our own experiences.
Yes.
And then
Totally.
possibly what you read in a book that somebody tells you you should or shouldn't do.
Like, well, remember we were talking about like back in the day, and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had the knowledge I had when I was younger because I had zero self-respect. And you're like, what do you mean? And then I told you, every guy that asked me out, I just said yes to them, even though I did not want to date them because I didn't want to hurt them by saying no. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I was the extreme of like, doing other things like that for other people, and then I would self-sabotage relationships so they would break up with me. I was one of
Yeah.
those. But I was younger. I mean, this is teenage, early 20 I'm talking, but yeah, it's like I just didn't have the ability to be have self-confidence, which to me is a part of self-love and respect my wants then too. So it kind of goes back to all that. And then when I look back, you will like look at my parents. So I'm like, ah, I understand why I was like that. Very passive and
Oh yeah, because your parents are so sweet and passive too.
yeah, they don't have a voice most of the time unless they have some drinks under their belt. Then it's like, watch out. Yeah, like you laugh at your Auntie Wendy all the time.
I know she's so sweet. She cracks me up.
Okay, so moving on to the next topic. Is fear of letting go, which is especially during the manifestation journey or any kind of journey, like any kind of thing in your life situation, it's really hard to fucking let go. It can be one of the biggest, I think, struggles. Hey?
Yeah, because it's what you know. It's what you've
Yeah.
always known, and you just step into something that's completely different, even when you want something that's completely different.
And then you struggle because you don't know the known, like it's
You don't
unknown.
know
You
how to
can't.
cope. You don't know how to cope in the
Yes.
unknown. You don't have the skills. You don't have the life lessons. You don't have the knowledge to fall back on. And so
Yeah.
that's why so many people struggle to manifest a completely new life, to manifest something completely different. And that's why they kind of end up sometimes in a situation that's similar. You don't
Yeah.
have the skill set, the knowledge to move forward with something completely different.
Do you feel, Crystal, like when we're struggling letting go, but sometimes when you're struggling to let go, we kind of clench in onto that thing harder and longer before we're willing to let go. Like how we're like, because it's so uncertain and you're not trusting yourself or the universe. Do you feel like it just makes things harder for you and energetically kind of messes you up a little bit?
I think I can absolutely, because
Yeah.
it's that you're stepping into unknown.
Yeah.
And so as bad as it is, but sometimes people just hang on to what they know because it's
Yeah.
comfortable. It's what they know. That's where their vibration, their frequency is. Like
Yeah.
that's just their body feels comfortable there. Their nervous system knows
Just
that.
fighting it.
Yeah. And then it's just to go. And that's why I think too, like um when we manifest, sometimes it's baby steps, and it gives ourselves that time to adjust, because to go from a complete 180, it'd be like having a brain transplant, to all of a sudden wake up and manifest a completely new life and shed all of the crap behind. Like it doesn't happen. like not like that. It
It
does
would
take time.
shock your system. It would, like your nervous system, your body has to feel safe
Yeah.
because otherwise you're kind of, I don't know if resistance is the right word, Crystal, but like you're just like your body's like this and fighting it and fighting it. So it's just like, so that's why like we teach a lot just like to calm and soothe the nervous system and like slowly make those things. And like you said, you're shifting and you're shifting and you're shifting your energy. So
Well,
when
you got to
people are
learn
always,
new. Oh, go ahead.
pardon? No,
It's
go
like, go
ahead.
ahead. Like you got to learn new coping mechanisms for each shift, a new way to function in that
Yeah.
little shift that you make, that little shift that you make. You can't make like a massive shift. Like people just collapse. And I think of like, like somebody who's lost a partner. Like that would be a massive, cutoff, like where you're trying to deal in a new reality, right? Like a divorce, at least it's gradual and you learn to jump
Yeah.
and shift as you go. And you learn new coping mechanism, new skills as you go. But I think when you've lost a person in your life, whether it's a spouse or a child, and it's just that cutoff that, and that's kind of comes from my mediumship and the people that I've been with in those sessions is that, it's then new learning coping skills and you crash
Yeah.
because you don't know how to function in your new reality.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough.
So, yeah.
That's like, yeah, those are extremes, like letting go of something to move forward in your life, and then you have no choice but to let go.
Yeah. And I mean, like the same as
Yeah.
like if you want to switch your careers and go to a completely different job and say you've worked in a massively toxic place, but you're tired of that toxic place, but everything you know is toxic and you get a new job, but you still go with all your toxic skills. So now, there's a good chance that maybe you're the toxic one until you learn a new way to function and you see these people being positive, nice. At first you don't trust it, you wonder what's wrong with people, and you either last in that environment and you learn and you adapt and you become that, or you move on again.
I guess the one thing that we can share is like, in the beginning, this is how I started to learn how to let go is I did yoga nidra meditation. It's designed to totally relax your nervous system. It brings up your parasympathetic nervous system, so your rest and digest, and lowers the sympathetic nervous system, so the fight or flight. So that is a beautiful way, and it's kind of cool. It makes you decide. It's not like basically like a mantra. Like in while you're in that state of just total calm and relaxing, it helps you rewire your brain. Like it's all about neuroplasticity. It's so cool. And like it can help you make those changes while calming your nervous system down. So definitely like Google, look it up, yoga nidra meditation. It is amazing for us to calm that shit down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I always like my full proof is I always connect and ask my guides.
Yeah. Yeah. But if they haven't done that yet,
No,
yeah.
but if
Which
you
is
haven't,
yeah,
it's
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 also
simple to start, just ask.
yeah. Ask and be in a environment where you're not being distracted, really. Yeah. So I guess in the part of letting go, this kind of segues into our next topic because we wanted to share another thing to help you let go is that the universe will always show you the steps you need to take in order to help you let go and make the like feel safe in order like to move forward. And then does the universe test you? Because you hear that a lot on social media. The universe is testing you. The universe is testing you. Did you pass the test? Like how annoying. So
Yeah,
that's what we're going to talk about next. Hmm?
I don't actually think the universe is testing you.
No.
Like not in that regard. Because I think that as your energy shifts, and I'm gonna use divorce as an example, or like a bad relationship,
Mhm.
and you want to manifest a new partner and you don't want like somebody that's controlling or an alcoholic or abusive, or think of your worst case scenario. So as your energy shifts and changes, you will notice, or they'll come into your view, or attraction, law of attraction, you know, people. They're not as bad as the last guy, but it's better. Still not ideal, still not the man you want to manifest, but better. And as you push that away and you acknowledge it, like your energy shifts again. And and then it gets a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. So I don't think it's actually a test. I think it's just your energy shifting and changing. And it's got to be done step by step. It can't be a complete 180 because you can't vibrate at that level. You don't have the skills or the knowledge and the ability to relate with somebody who is completely 180 different.
I guess like a good example is like when people win the lottery and they just blow all their money within a year or 6 months, it's gone because they're not used to having that money. They're used to their money habits, their money energy, their money patterns already. And so
Yeah.
they don't know how to shift it. Like I said, they don't know how to cope with that. They don't know how to shift into that new frequency. And they just do the same pattern over and over.
Yep. And they get right back to
Unfortunately,
where they were.
exactly. And sometimes worse off. Like, yeah. So that would
But
be
I
one
don't
example.
like I don't think when any of that happens is I do not think it's the universe testing you to see if you really want it or you really deserve it. I honestly think that it is your energy shifting and changing.
Yeah.
And then new things are coming into your life with that shift and change. And you learn from that, you take what you will, and then you shift and change again. And then you notice a new set and a new set, whether it be money, people, material, whatever.
Yeah, the universe wants you to be that most joyful, happiest. Like they want such good things for you and your highest good. They're not going to put you through shit and trauma and tests, like intentionally to test you. Like it's not, that's just not what it's like. It's not what it's doing.
No, I think you're just shedding old,
Yeah.
noticing what's before you at your current energy, vibration, frequency, your matches, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. We did make a YouTube video a little while ago, maybe like a year ago, about and we called it "Does the Universe Test You?" because of all the things we heard out there. If you, I'll link it here, and you guys can take a peek and watch it. It's actually like it explains it in pretty good detail too.
It's got a good diagram, like where we explain how your energy and
Yes,
everything works.
yeah. So go check that out because Crystal again in her beautiful drawings.
My lovely drawings.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we just wanted to give you that awareness. The universe is never testing you. It wants the best for you. It's just you shifting, changing, shedding, adjusting your nervous system, adjusting everything feeling safe to go to the next stage. And it
Yeah,
is,
and I
it's
think
life, it's learning.
when you
Hmm?
like, and that's I think that's where the whole self-sabotage comes in, is because you can't adjust at a
Oh,
higher shift than what you're capable of. So you do self-sabotage and bring yourself back down to where you're comfortable. It's like that ladder, right? Like you got to go up, adjust, go up, adjust, go up, adjust. If you jump from the third rung to the 10th rung, it's too much. And your body will knock you back down to where it feels comfortable and safe.
yeah. Yeah, you're working against it. And that's why you see so many things like people trying things and fail or sabotage. Like you can, when you watch somebody self sabotage and you can see it so clearly, but they themselves don't see it so clearly,
No, and
you
they get
know?
really pissed off if you bring it up too.
Yeah, and then I think that's why I'm gonna call it out. I think that's where this came from, that the universe is testing you. It's just to shift blame on something else instead of just taking full responsibility. Oh fuck, I went too far. I gotta learn how to cope and adjust, and it's okay. And just being aware of your self-sabotaging skills, so maybe you can avoid it or just come down a little bit, and then like
I would
that's why
agree with
everyone
you
wants everything so
100%.
yeah, and everyone just wants everything so fucking instantly that you know, when they do manifest like a 180, because sometimes it can happen, and it happens, shit goes south
Yeah. But I
because you
feel like
want
when
it
it
so
happens,
bad.
I think when it
Mhm.
happens really fast like that, like there is a life lesson that you're meant to learn in that.
Yeah.
Like, so, like you said, winning the lottery. I do believe that that is a life lesson.
Yeah.
Not everybody does it. Not everybody will win it. But for those people, I do believe it is a life lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Um, that is kind of okay. So yeah, we already mentioned it in the last segment, but our freebie that will be on our website here soon. So check for it. But it will actually help you determine what that is, like your block. We called it a block, but it could be like your self sabotage or your biggest hurdle right now for manifesting. And it's going to help you discover what that is. And it's going to give you the tools to move past it.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're
pretty
not
cool.
just on your own.
And I totally did it with you guys. Like I totally did it and shared my experience so you can learn from that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it showed me three. I got three different answers. So I got some hurdles. But it's good. And now I have the awareness so I can work on it, right? Okay, you guys, that is a wrap. Please, you guys help do a solid and share and like this and subscribe. That helps us and this channel way more than you actually may know. And it helps create this community. And honestly, anything else you want to share, Crystal?
Nope. Hope you guys have a wonderful week.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next episode, you guys. Take care.